This husband and wife are about to hear life-changing news. They're being charged with murder.
That is a charge called homicide felony murder. It is life without parole. It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest.
Yes, I would advise you to be careful what you say from here on out. You will answer to the Lord for everything that is said against.
On the 2nd of August 2018, it started with a phone call, but not the kind you'd expect from a father who just lost his child. On that morning, Seth Welch sounded more inconvenienced than heartbroken. He waited 90 minutes to call for help. By the time the first officer stepped through that door, the air wasn't just heavy with summer heat. It was heavy with the stench of a crime that would haunt the state of Michigan for years. You're looking at Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari. They told the world they were a family of faith. They told the police their daughter, Mary, was just born skinny. But as the detectives began to look closer at the tiny, fragile body in the crib, the killer couple realized their lies were about to collapse. This is the moment the facade broke. This is the moment they realized the law had found exactly what they tried to hide.
How long ago did you find this child?
It's about an hour and a half. I was waiting. I called my lawyer first thing to ask, what's the next thing I could do. And they said, wait till they're here to call, the police and get that going. Basically, it got to the point where I was waiting so long, I kind of went ahead and did it anyway. And we're almost here, so I was waiting on legal counsel.
So you found the child an hour and a half ago?
Yeah.
And called your lawyer first, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other children in the home right now?
Yeah. Because I didn't know if I was supposed to call the police or not. I had no idea what to do.
Okay. We will send someone out. We're going to investigate. When was the last time you had contact with a child?
Last night, yesterday afternoon, about 3 p.m. She goes to bed, and that was that.
Okay, so you put her to bed yesterday at 3 p.m.?
Yeah, and then this morning at 10 something, he finally went in to check on her. He's like, okay, it's been way too long, so, It becomes long all the time, it's normally, so.
So you're saying it is normal for your children to sleep from around 3 p.m. till 10 a.m.?
Usually about 9:30, yeah. So.
They sleep from 3 p.m. to... I'm just typing in a couple things here.
Sure.
What time do they usually have dinner?
Oh, well, that's my instinct. They're not all, they don't all kind of run on the schedule, but she basically eats and, she's up for a half hour after that, and then she goes down for bed.
Okay. And how old are the other children?
4 and 2.
There's 2 other children?
Yeah.
And they're at home right now, right?
Yep.
And you said when you found her, she was already believed to be deceased, right?
Yeah.
And that's when you consulted with a lawyer?
Yep.
Do you believe she was beyond help already?
Oh, yeah. She was dead at the door now.
Seth Welch was raised in a strict Christian home, shaped by discipline and rigid beliefs. After the military, he became a truck driver. Tatiana Fusari's past was far more chaotic: foster care, drug struggles, and arrests. They married and had 3 children. But behind closed doors, their relationship was unstable, filled with conflict and tension. Then, just hours later, everything changed. Investigators separated them into different interrogation rooms. No shared story, just silence. And that's when it began. Piece by piece, their stories started to fall apart.
Hi. Tatiana, this is my supervisor.
We've seen each other, but I don't think we've met. I'm sorry for your loss. I know that's obviously the last thing you want to be doing is this. So we haven't spoke yet. I know you've already spoken with Jason. My name is Jason as well. But some of the same stuff that I gotta turn this brain off. Some of the same stuff that he's already talked about. I wasn't there when you guys spoke, so I'd like to go over some of that. Obviously, he's already advised you of your constitutional rights up at the scene. You still remember those rights. That's,
Thank you for clarifying.
yep, no problem. Do you want me to read them to you again, or you're still good to go? All right. Like I told you, you're not under arrest, but because you're in this fine facility, we do like to just remind you of those. So, really, what I kind of just like to do is just to get a better understanding of how we are here today, and kind of go back a few years even, just to get to know you and your family a little bit. So,
Okay.
Do you go by Tatiana, or do you have a nickname?
Tatiana.
Tatiana? Okay.
Nicknames don't really seem to work.
You couldn't just give us an easy nickname. No, I'm just kidding. How many children do you have?
Five.
3?
3.
Okay. Yep. All right.
The interrogators were starting to lose track of Tatiana because suddenly everything about her made sense, and it was worse than they imagined. Both she and Seth had neglected their children long before they were even born. Neither had changed their reckless lifestyle for the pregnancies. Tatiana kept drinking, kept smoking weed, as often as she could usually with Seth right beside her. And then, the next chapter of their story began to unravel.
And Mary. Okay. How old is your oldest?
4.
And your Okay. So, at the scene there, I was told that verbal. Is that true that he doesn't, or he's very verbal?
He's very verbal.
I don't know. Someone, and you know how it gets mixed. You whisper in one person's ear and as it goes down the chain. Maybe he was just being shy. So
He tends to get shy, but
yeah, he did some high fiving for me, but
he knows lots of words. He's just sometimes big sister can be a little dominating. So
maybe that's what it is.
Him, but,
and probably all the commotion probably really made him shy, and he probably didn't want to. So maybe they were just saying he was nonverbal right now. Maybe that's what it was. Medical issues or nothing like that? Okay.
Not at all.
And
Tatiana, she seemed to believe that if their children wanted to live in their house, wanted to eat their food, they'd have to earn it. Basic needs, water, food, even the simplest necessities, were deliberately withheld. And it got worse. On more than one occasion, the older children were forced to eat grass and dirt, left to scramble for survival in their own home. This wasn't neglect. This was something far darker.
Is she in any kind of daycare? Does she go?
No.
Does she have preschool?
No, I homeschool. I have my degree in early childhood
You do?
education.
Okay.
So I
Good for you.
thought since being at home at the farm, I can at least give them an initial education before we do decide to send them off to grade school.
Absolutely. So, have you already?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Like, and what kind of stuff?
She is fluent in her alphabet, her numbers at least up to 20.
Wow.
Although she knows other numbers like 160, but not in statements.
Okay.
She's practicing her writing.
Mm-hmm.
She just has a little issue with the numbers. They get a little backwards, but
Okay.
she knows how to spell words like hi, cat, dog.
Oh.
She knows that Elizabeth starts with E.
She kind of do better than Jason. The hi and the cat and dog part. So, does a doctor that she sees, does she have a primary doctor?
Not anymore. We
Okay.
did have. It's great and everything. We just we only go if there's an issue, and there just hasn't been.
Well, good.
Tatiana spoke with a confidence that was haunting. Every word she uttered to the interrogators carried a cold, unsettling certainty. She didn't look like a mother who had just lost a child. No grief, no sorrow. She looked like a woman defending a lifestyle, a choice she refused to abandon, no matter the cost.
We'll do 4 to 6 if you want.
Okay, and so at what visit, obviously it was probably the last visit, is when he recommended the helmet, the head shaping. But so there was never any concern about the shape of her head from 0 to 18 months?
No, that's why it was such a concern for us as to why he would just bring this up out of nowhere. And
so what was the problem with the shape of her head according to him?
He said it was off. It was just not circular. And I mean, I wasn't offended. I was just taken aback. And then Seth found out that it's commission based with these products that they try and push. So we don't know specifically. This is hearsay.
Right, sure.
But we think that
we'll
he
accept
was trying to push the helmet. It was a $3,000 helmet for that and called CPS and said that we were being neglectful or something or other.
In the middle of an investigation into the starvation of her own child, something happened that made the detective's blood run cold. Tatiana Fusari didn't just stay confident. She laughed. Not the kind of laugh born from grief or hysteria. No, this was different. It was the laugh of someone who thought the entire situation was a joke. She nodded. She giggled, as if she were at a coffee shop, not under the harsh lights of an interrogation room, defending her innocence with a chilling, almost casual delight.
Okay.
Yes.
How does that work?
Wonderful.
Was that a choice?
Yeah.
Was that like what do they call it, like a midwife or something?
Yeah, it was a home birth.
Okay,
And
so
I had a midwife.
how does that work? When you choose to have, first off, I mean, why did you go from being from her in a hospital and some transformation here where you said we want to do the midwife? Yeah.
Yeah. Being at the hospital was very invasive. They with me after she was born. They wanted her out of the room. They wanted us there for 3 days because apparently I pushed out a lot more fluid than they were expecting.
This wasn't some tragic twist of fate. There was no mysterious illness. What the doctors found was far worse. A child systematically starved and dehydrated in a house overflowing with food. And as the detectives laid out the evidence, the bruises, the empty plates, the neglect the realization hit, Tatiana and Seth weren't being seen as grieving parents anymore. No. In that room, under those lights, they were being seen for what they truly were, monsters.
So she coughed. I'm like, oh, we need to keep her for testing. And then I just think it's because they just wanted to charge us more. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, yada, yada, whatever.
Yeah, you never know, though, right?
Exactly,
right.
you don't. So I just think they wanted to keep us there for 3 more days, and then they wouldn't, allow me to see her except to nurse, and they were saying, oh, you can just give her food here. Don't worry, you can rest. I want to see my baby.
Yeah.
And they would have, WIC come in and give me information, and then, you want to have newborn portraits? No, can I just go home?
Right.
So we just didn't want any part.
So that just turned you off to the...
And having a home birth right after I gave birth, Seth went out and bought me a pizza, and I ate that whole pizza. Right after I gave birth.
Bonus. Was at 4 months, was she developing well? Was she getting to be a roly-poly? How did your kids develop? Every child's different, I know that, but...
They all were very engaging and active. Yes, roly-poly is a great way to describe all of them, actually.
Okay.
The only thing they were late on was walking.
Okay. So, would you say, chubby cheeks and... was she always thinner?
She was always petite.
Always petite.
Yeah, she was never, nothing chunky about her, just...
But nothing concerning either.
No.
So she was still fitting into the size diapers and stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So because I've got kids too, but I probably much like Seth, I didn't do most of the diaper shopping. But I know there's months Like
Yeah.
there's the 0, the infant, or the newborn, and then it goes like what?
1, 2, 3.
So that's based on months, right? So it'll say like 0 to 3 months or something like that, or does it say 3 to 6 months? Is it not like that
0 to
anymore?
3 months is usually size still newborn, and
Oh,
then
still,
3 to
okay.
6 would be size 1.
So when she was 3 to 6, was she wearing size 1, 3 to 6?
Yes, she was good with her diapers.
Okay, so even though she was petite, she was still growing into the age-appropriate diapers.
Yeah, she was very tall.
Okay.
And
even her clothes, like her 2Ts and 4T toddler stuff, was she age-appropriate with the sizes that she was growing into?
yeah, we in fact had to get larger because she was so long.
Oh. But they weren't so baggy that they were falling off from her?
No,
Okay.
not until,
Good.
actually not at all. She finally started to fit them fully when she
Yeah.
was maybe a year.
Okay.
And that's
All right.
when, yeah, they didn't.
But now, feeding, he turned into a chunker for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. And obviously he grew out of that. And so was he still age appropriate, or did he kind of go an age or two over where he should have
He was
been?
a tad over.
Okay.
Not in the diaper sense, but I mean, right now he's wearing 3T to 4T diapers, but that's because they're the pull-up ones. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to encourage potty training.
Yo, good.
But his clothes right now are 3T.
Oh, so he is over then, yeah.
Yeah, but he's going to be 3 soon, and I just
Yeah.
don't want him when he puts his arms up to have his belly out. So
Well, plus you want to buy him once. You want him to last more than a week.
Yeah.
At that age, they're just sprouting up. And
so quickly.
so you didn't work. When did you go back to work? About-ish.
February of this past year.
Of this year or 17? This is 2018?
Yes,
So this
2018, and that's when I started working at McDonald's.
Okay. And so
February?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
So
17th, actually.
so in October. So from October 23rd to November 23rd, to December to January to February. So basically the first 4 full months, she was fresh from the source, breastfed as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And same story, if you went somewhere, she went with you,
Yeah.
Seth never had to feed her.
No.
So
And
for
it was
4
winter
months,
anyway.
he never fed her.
No,
Okay.
no way. Not that he couldn't, I just...
No. But why? Yeah, if
Why
you're
would
right
he
there.
have to, yeah.
Mhm.
And it was winter, cuddle time.
Mm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, February 17th, you go back to work. Why did you have to go back to work?
Just to be blunt, just to support the farm.
Yeah. Yep.
Give us some startup money.
Because now you guys used to do fruit farm produce stands, and Seth was saying that just didn't really take off.
Yeah.
So now he's trying to do a U-Pick strawberry thing, and
So I was pregnant with Mary, taking Elizabeth and John down to farmers markets 4 times a week from 6 to 3.
oh,
Yeah, it was grueling.
it's exhausting.
Yeah, and having to manage the children and then interact with the customers. And some days were just not, we didn't pay the gas to go down there. So
I don't blame you.
U-Pick strawberries this year took off phenomenally, and we're going to expand that way.
So now is the farm, whose passion is that?
It started out as Seth. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, so I didn't...
Not your passion, then.
Not then.
So, is it your passion now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so this is something that Seth wanted, and then you grew to love, or
Yeah.
okay?
That's why I work at McDonald's. I wouldn't otherwise.
No, right. So February 17 rolls around, and at this point, months old. How do you manage feeding them?
Refrigerate bottles,
Okay.
because I was only doing 4-hour shifts at the time, just so they can see my work ethic. So I would do, I would leave 1 bottle out and then 1 bottle in the fridge. And I would the day and then put her down to bed before I left. And that was at 7 o'clock.
All right, so your shift was
7 to 11.
7 p.m. to 11.
Yeah, for a month.
So, is on a typical day, what time in the morning would be your first feeding with her?
At that time?
At that time.
Maybe 5,
a.m.
3:30, 3:30, and
Okay.
then.
So at
5
3:30
again.
she would wake up, and would she do a full feeding?
Yes. Although she would fall asleep, so I'd wake her up.
You just keep
to make
nudging
sure she
her.
was full, yeah.
And when you, now typically speaking at 3:30 when you woke her up, would she need a diaper change as well?
No,
Okay,
she
so
wouldn't. Because she was up at midnight before that, eating.
so the last feeding for the night would be midnight. Well, let's just start at 3:30. That'll give us a good time frame. So at 3:30 there'd be a full feeding, and her diaper was fine. No pee, no poop. She's good.
Yeah, she was fine.
So then, when would be the next feeding?
Between 5 and 6. And that's when I would change her.
And would that be another full feeding?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would change her then, and then
And when you changed her then, it would be due to
urine.
urine.
And then the kids would be up too, and then so I'd leave just to be awake with the kids, and the kids would have breakfast while Mary's either eating or sitting in her little bouncy chair looking around, and then
so at 4 months she could sit in her bouncy chair and look around and
yes,
okay.
she was always able to hold her head up on her own. But it was a little rocker chair, not a bouncy chair, I'm sorry. So she would lean back in it and you put batteries in it and it rocks on
Oh
itself.
yes, yeah. So the next feeding we have a 5 to 6 time frame. The next feeding would have been when about
8 to 9.
8 to 9.
Yeah, she would feed every 2 hours on average.
Another full. Every feeding was a full feeding.
Yes, she was. Yeah.
And 8 to 9. How was the diaper?
Depending on the day or how much she ate, I would change her poop 3 times a day.
Okay.
That I made note of.
Okay.
So it's hard to give you specifics on an actual day, but if she didn't poop then, the next time there would be a poop. But it was always 1 in the afternoon.
So either this feeding or the next one is typically a poopy diaper.
Yes.
Okay. And the next feeding was, I know you told me, but I'm not good at the math.
Another 2 hours after that.
So you're thinking 11 to
noonish, because I know she'd eat when the kids would have lunch too.
So noonish.
And then the kids would have their snack around 2, and she'd be eating again.
So I can say that either the 8 to 9 or the noonish feeding was a poopy diaper change.
Yeah. And it was not, I mean, she didn't do solids yet. There wasn't solid poopy yet.
No. And then you said after noonish was, what'd you say, 2?
Around 2, the kids would have their snack. Maybe 2 to 3.
How about the diaper situation on that one?
She just always pee. So every time I got her to feed her during the day, there was always pee.
So every daytime feeding had a wet diaper?
Yes.
Holy smoly.
Yeah, well, she was eating a lot.
Yeah, she was.
It was just the 3:30, which I was grateful for, that I didn't have to change her diaper at 3:30 in the morning when I wanted to go back to bed.
Right. So then, 5-ish? 5 to 6? Or would there only be one more feeding before you went to work? Or?
Yeah, so around 5, when the kids would have dinner,
okay.
because I would put the kids down for bed before I left also, and this was in the winter, so it was darker outside, so they would sleep earlier in the day. So I'd feed everyone, and then that's bed for the night.
Which would be about?
6:30, because then I'd have to get ready for work. 6:30, kids would go to bed, and there'd be a bottle on the counter, and there'd be one in the fridge, just in case.
But first
while the kids were eating dinner, yeah.
Would you put her to bed? Would she be asleep when you put her to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would feed her to sleep, and then lay her to bed. Okay.
Yes. And there wouldn't be anything, not even a teddy bear in the bed, not that early.
Okay.
And she would sleep until maybe midnight. So Seth wouldn't even sometimes need the bottle. So I would just use the bottle so it wouldn't go to waste when I came home.
So if you were already home, then you'd use the bottle?
Yes.
But if you weren't home, Seth would use the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do with the one in the fridge then?
I'd use it the next morning.
Okay.
Just one on my fit. Yeah, at 3:30, when she would get up again, and it was 3:30 clockwork. She knew. I would sleep on the couch because I would just know I'd just be up at 3:30.
So let me just go over this
Sure.
to see if I've got it right. And so actually, I'll start with midnight.
Okay.
So typically, either right before you got home or about the time you got home, there was a feeding.
Yes. I think she just knew Mama was home.
Now, was it always you, or did sometimes Seth feed her prior to you being home?
It was always me.
Okay.
I chose to, and he was very kind about it. He said, "You need your rest." And
Yeah. Really, Seth didn't even need those bottles that were left behind because he
Not that
didn't.
I remember, no.
Okay.
And she started eating solid food a month after that, and that's my 3 to 11 shift.
Oh, okay.
And that's when she was eating her solid food, so I would grind up, organic vegetables mixed with breast milk.
Yeah.
And he would feed that to her along with some oatmeal.
Okay. So before we get into that, let me just first make sure this timeline's all right.
Okay.
So at midnight, you would feed Mary. At 3:30 in the morning, she would wake you up crying.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get up and you'd feed her again. Her diaper was fine because at midnight you changed her diaper.
Yes.
Was that poopy or?
Most likely it was
Okay.
poop, because she was sleeping for 4 hours before that.
Yep. So then at 3:30, full feeding, diaper's fine. 5 a.m., full feeding, probably a wet diaper.
Yes.
8 to 9, full feeding, maybe a poopy diaper. Noonish, full feeding. If the other diaper wasn't poopy, this one was.
Yes.
2 to 3, full feeding, wet diaper. 6:30, just prior to you going to work, you'd feed. You lay her in bed, and then you're off to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'd be home by midnight. We'd start the thing over again.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you said those habits changed at some point.
At about 6 months.
At 6 months. So at 6 months, did your hours change? Is that why these habits changed, or did they change because, or a combination of both?
It could have been a combination of both. I know because she was growing, and she was eating more, and we were encouraging the solid food so she can gain more weight. So we just wanted, I was putting butter in her mashed potatoes so she can eat something.
So when she was growing, so now at 6 months, was she wearing 6T? Was she wearing age-appropriate size diapers?
Lengthwise, yes, but she wasn't filling them out widthwise. So she was wearing her 3 to 6 month clothing.
And how do you feel about weight size? Was she okay, or was she?
I was a tad concerned, but then I remembered. I'm a mom, so I'll just worry about anything.
Sure.
But then I remembered Elizabeth and how petite she was then, and how she would fill in lengthwise, but not widthwise until she was about a year.
So what was your tad concern? What was that? Was she just not gaining enough weight, or was that the concern?
It was possibly. It was just. I think what got to me was seeing like other babies just so chunky and always hearing like, oh, she's so small, and I was like, yes, she's premature, she's petite, leave alone, and then also I forget like all these babies are formula fed, and there's nothing against formula. Sometimes mothers need to do it, but the formula is what chunks up the baby quickly, and I just didn't do that. So then I got it out of my head. It was just a little.
So you had a little bit of a concern due to her weight, but not her length. But you weren't overly concerned. You got it out of your head because you realized that she's fine.
I was being a little vain, I suppose.
And then she realized it was over. Tatiana Fusari looked across the table, and something had changed. The detectives weren't nodding anymore. The quiet agreement, the subtle validation, gone. They weren't buying the good mother act. They weren't falling for the smiles. For the first time, the room turned on her.
So at about her 6 month mark, which would have been February, March, April. So in April-ish, she had 1 week of sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. But then after that 1 week, she went back to the basic schedule that we just discussed. Yeah. And did her schedule ever change again?
Not until recently, which I thought she was going through her 9-month growth spurt. She was sleeping a lot lately.
So recently, her schedule changed again. And when you say recently, about when-ish was that?
3 days ago.
Oh, 3 days ago. Okay. So 3 days ago, what happened then?
We would
So today is Thursday. So Tuesday, was it Monday? Tuesday. You remember what day that you would specifically remember it changing, or you don't have a specific recollection of it?
I don't. But I know I didn't have work. We can say Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday?
Tuesday sounds fine. Yeah,
so tell me what you noticed.
She got up at 9 o'clock in the morning. You were so tired, weren't you?
And she went to bed when? The night before that?
7 o'clock.
Okay. So she got up at 09 after going to bed at 7.
Mm-hmm. And it just reminded me of when she was 6 months old. It seemed consistent. Then she would eat like crazy, and then she would doze off again, like she was ready for bed immediately after eating. So I just, okay, it's consistent with the other children and with her 6-month-old growth spurt. So I put her down, and she'd sleep for about 3 hours, get up again, eat, and it seemed like she wanted to go to bed, but I kept her up, and she hung out and was interactive, smiling. But then she'd start to fuss because she wanted to go back to bed. She was just very tired, and she only likes to sleep in her bed. She'll sleep in the car or the truck, but.
So 3 days ago, did things happen enough that we could establish the routine? Was she on a 3-day routine? Like we just established 2 different routines that she was on. Mm-hmm. Did she have a routine the last 3 days? Or
no, it was a bit erratic because I would try and keep her up just because I was worried that she was sleeping so much. Mm-hmm. But when she wanted to sleep, she wanted to sleep.
Was she eating?
Yes, very well. And the Sunday before last, we went to Golden Corral, and she just feasted. She really liked the marshmallow sweet potatoes.
So you thought this was a growth spurt, and is that because you noticed her growing again?
Yes, and I remembered with my other 2 children.
So at 6 months, we were...
Yeah.
And so at this 9-month growth spurt, how much were you guessing her at then?
Maybe 20.
Okay. And when was the last time that you thought she was 20 pounds? Yesterday. Okay. And yesterday, when you thought she was 20 pounds, how long would you have guessed her to be?
Her legs would wrap around my waist. She's quite long.
Because she was born at 20 inches, right?
Mm-hmm. So her head here, and she would just wrap around the side there. So 26 inches maybe.
Okay.
Quite long.
So these last 3 days that she was going through her growing spurt, you were off from work Tuesday, and that's the first day that you noticed that?
Yes. And then I went to work yesterday. I had work. And she does have a different schedule when I go to work. If you need to make note of that.
Yes. What's that?
So in the morning she gets up at 7, along with the other children. Breakfast for her and for everyone. And that would be nursing and nursing for about half hour while the kids ate. And then oatmeal. Oatmeal with maybe some maple syrup in it, or oatmeal with strawberries in it. Just depends.
Spoon oatmeal or oatmeal mixed in a bottle? Okay.
Nice and chunky for her.
Okay.
And then I'd keep her up, and she would be awake until I had to go to work. So she'd be awake, then it was time to go outside and help Daddy with the fields. And we'd do weeding, or I'd sit Mary in her stroller, and she'd just sit and watch the ducks and just laugh at them.
So you didn't work, was it 7 that you started?
I'm sorry, what?
You start your day again, was it 7 o'clock that you started
In the
your day?
morning, yeah.
No, I'm sorry, your work day, on your days of work, what time did you start?
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 p.m. So you'd keep her awake from 7 till 3?
To 2:30.
Till 2:30?
Yeah.
And so during that time that she was kept awake, how many other meals did she have?
About 4, possibly, yeah.
So
One of them was just nursing.
Well, the 7 o'clock one was breakfast. It was nursing for 30 minutes, oatmeal, some maple syrup, or fruit, whatever you had around. So when would the next meal then be on this different routine day?
Oh, probably about when the kids would usually want a snack around 9. So it would be then. She'd eat maybe 9:30, 10. And that was when it'd be quiet time for the kids. The kids would go in their room and they could read, they could sit in their beds quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Mama. An entire hour.
Okay.
And then if the kids were getting too restless, then, time to go back outside. Or they'd have to clean their room. Just depends.
Yeah.
But for yesterday, the kids, we went back outside. It was just so nice out. So we went. She likes it keeps her quiet if you go for walks in the stroller. So we just went up and down the driveway, we checked the mail, we picked up garbage. The window blow garbage from other places sometimes. Helped Daddy with the weeding, we cut some weeds for the goat, and then, I mean, that's another couple hours, and then it'd be about maybe 2:15. Or no, I'm sorry, it'd be about 1:30.
So the last time she would have ate would have been 1:30 yesterday in the afternoon?
No. I'd feed her again at 1:30, and then...
What was that feeding?
Nursing and some oatmeal.
How long was that nursing?
The nursing was about 20 minutes. The oatmeal took longer, because she was about 8 ounces of oatmeal. And then I would, I think the kids were still outside. I just eat. Oh yeah. Resting my feet before work. I'm just standing for 8 hours.
That was at 1:30?
Yeah. So then, 2:30 was when Mary would finish eating. 2:30 was the end of it, and that's when I would change her diaper again and put her down.
Poopy diaper.
Yesterday morning, when I got her up for the day.
Have you noticed a decline in poopy diapers?
No, not at all. So this is such a surprise to me. I mean, this morning, when I got her up, she had spit up, and I just...
So yesterday morning, when you got her up at 7, she had spit up?
No, this morning.
Oh, this morning.
At 9, when I got her up, when I tried to get her up.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she choked on her spit, and that's why.
What color was her spit up?
It was foamy and brown. So I thought maybe it was the oatmeal and the fruit mixed in there.
So where was the spit up at?
The side of her mouth, the side of her face.
And was that, did you think, I don't know, was it food? Was it blood?
No, it wasn't blood.
It was not blood.
No,
Was she have any kind of vomiting of blood or anything like that?
No, never.
Okay.
We would have taken to her doctor
Well, sure,
if that
yeah.
ever happened.
So you were certain it was food?
Yes, because that's what...
And it was on her side, it was on what side of her face?
Her right side.
Her right side, okay. And then that's when you noticed that she was unresponsive. Was
Yeah.
this morning when you saw that? And what happened next?
She, excuse me, her eyes were open.
Did anything else look strange other than obviously just stood up and that her eyes were open? Or other than that, did she look as usual?
She's just cold.
Okay.
So I went in to get Seth. And it's an emergency. And he's like, and I was just so shocked. And he reminded me I knew CPR, and he told me to start. So I took her from the bed and I put her on her changing table. And I started CPR, and I did the 2-finger touch on the chest. If you use your whole hand, you could break ribs, and I just didn't want to do that, for sure.
I know this is tough.
So I did a 2-finger touch on the chest and her back, and I wiped her mouth, and I did.
So you did this on the kitchen table?
No, the changing table.
On the changing table in the bedroom.
Yes.
So you said you did it on her mouth, and then you wiped her mouth.
I wiped her mouth first because it was the spit up. And now that I think about it, I think it was banana and oatmeal. You know when banana's been sitting out and it's very ripe?
Oh, yeah.
It gets that like brownish color?
Yeah.
But ripe banana's very sweet, and she eats the oatmeal better with it.
So what did you wipe her mouth with?
A baby wipe, a lavender-scented baby wipe.
Okay. And then you did what with that?
I threw it in the garbage.
Okay.
Well, not immediately, no. I just wiped her and put it to the side.
Just wiped her into it? No. Yeah.
Right next on the changing table.
And then you picked her up out of the bed?
Yes. And then I put her on the changing table, and then when I was pumping her chest, there was like bubbles, bubbles coming out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe that's why I thought she choked. And then maybe if I kept pumping, like it would, like maybe it would come out, and then she'd like cough and wake up. Because I just kept wiping the bubbles, and I was giving her air and giving her pumping with my finger, just my 2 fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should have done more.
Nope, you were doing it right.
And she was still so cold, and I think maybe 10 minutes. It's so hard to gauge time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And Seth was with me the whole time, and he's just asking me, is she dead? Is she gone? While he's crying, just asking me, is she gone? And it's so hard to say yes. And I just said yes. She's just unresponsive. And then we had no idea what to do then at all. Like, what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
And so he called his parents, or he called his dad first, excuse me, and his dad said, okay, your mom and I are on our way. Call the police. Let them know what happened, and we'll try and get there before they do. And then we just spent the entire time on the couch, waiting and crying. We did sleep. It was just, my mother-in-law doesn't like 3 hours. Just on the floor for her, but I don't know why. Who cares? Why would we?
So this morning you found her about 9 o'clock. And is that what time you woke up?
No, I woke up at around 7. The kids are very consistent with their wake-up time at 7.
Mm-hmm. And she's always up at 7?
Yes. Except when she's going through a growth spurt, she'll sleep in until about 9 or 10.
Okay.
Which is why I went to check in on her at 9, and I wondered why she wasn't up yet.
Okay.
But last night when I came home, I opened the door just a tad so it could make that noise.
Yesterday you finished feeding her at 2:30.
Yep.
And you put her to bed at 2:30. And that was the last time you saw her because you went to work then?
Yeah.
Okay. But then you came home at 11:30, and when you opened the door, you saw movement from her.
Mm-hmm.
You're certain you saw movement?
Absolutely.
From her? Okay.
Yes. Or else I would have said.
Uh-huh.
So, did you go any further into that room other than just looking through the door?
No.
The crack in the door?
I did not.
Was it the hole in the door or the crack in the door that you looked at?
It was a hole in the door. I didn't open the door completely. I just pushed it enough so it would make the noise. It's a very old, creaky door. So I pushed it enough. It makes the noise. It doesn't open the door completely. And she nudges because she hears it. And I just peek at her. I see her moving. And she's...
When you say that you saw her moving, how did you see her move? Can you describe that?
She was laying on her back still. Her blanket wasn't kicked off, and I only wrapped it right around the knees down to her feet to keep her feet warm. And she had her polar bear, but she likes to play with her polar bear before she goes to bed, so she kicked it off to the side. She was laying on her back. Her head was turned to the left side a bit. So when I pushed the door open, she jerked her arm a little and turned her head. So I could see that her eyes were still closed. She was squinting a bit, and then okay, and that's what she does.
And what time would that have been?
Around 11:30, 11:45, like we'll just say 11:30. Because I came home, I was still in my uniform. I came home and I brought lemonade home and a burger, and I just set it down at the table and I looked inside, and I did that, and then she was fine. And then I went into the room with Seth.
So, but she went to bed at 3. Wouldn't it be odd? Wouldn't it be odd, like for Seth, that she's still in bed when he went to bed? Because she's in bed she went to sleep at 2:30.
She's done this before, and so have our other kids, which is why we thought if she's sleeping, we're gonna let her sleep.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get that, but you saw her and we saw her, and she's tiny.
For the past hour, she had been lying confidently, sitting there with a chilling calm, weaving excuses about God's will, and greedy doctors even letting out a soft, airy laugh. Like this was all just conversation. She thought she was in control. She thought the good mother act was working, but then it hit her, not with tears, not with panic, with silence. The kind of silence that comes when you finally realize you've said too much, that every word, every smile, every laugh didn't save you. It sealed your fate.
It does.
Tatiana, we're all parents in this room, okay? And we all need to be honest. Remember in the car when I first talked with you, and I told you that at the end of the day, we all need to know exactly. Right? Okay. So we need to tell her story. Okay? And I want you to think about this for a minute. I want you to think for a second and put yourself in our shoes. You're the police officer. You're the police detective. You get called out to that home today. You get called to my home or his home today. Okay? You, the police officer. And then you have to go into that house and you have to look at that precious little angel. Okay? Do you think she was healthy, honestly?
When you look at her size and you can see every single bone in her body, do you think she was healthy?
We know this isn't easy, Tatiana, but we need to know what happened to her. What was going on?
Well, when did she start losing all that weight?
For the past 2 days.
But she's lost so much weight that you can't lose that much in 2 days. I've never seen a child that skinny. Never. And here's the thing. You're obviously a very concerned mom, but at what point did you know, what point did you think something was wrong? Because I know that you knew something, or you thought something wrong. You are an intelligent, educated woman. And at some point, you felt something was wrong.
Not until she put me. I had so much, maybe it was just delusional hope that she was getting bigger and that our cheeks were getting fuller and she was just so happy and
So at what point did she can't even weigh 8 pounds right now. She doesn't weigh 8 pounds. When's the last time that you actually inspected her, that you looked at her? Tell me the truth.
Every time when I change her, and I think I just may have been just so blinded.
What were you blinded by? Because I know, listen, you are an intelligent, articulate, college-educated, early childhood development. You know when you look at someone that something's wrong. I have a picture of her right here. I'm prepared to show you. That tells you no medical treatment. As dumb as I am, I'm not near as intelligent as you. I can't speak the words you can speak. I am not you. And even I can look at this photo and I can say, whoa, something's wrong. It put tears in our eyes when we walked in there. It was that obvious.
Tatiana, I'm going to be quite honest with you right now, okay? One parent to another, right? And I'm going to try and control my emotions, all right? I've been to a child death investigator school, and I've seen photos and images of children that have been malnourished. And I'm telling you right now, this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, no, really?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, you know that these two appear healthy and this one didn't. So we need to go and get this one fixed. Figure out what's wrong with her.
I thought we had more time for her to fill out.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you this. Did you plan on having each of your children?
No.
No? Oops.
We knew we were having unprotected sex, and we knew we were going to have a baby from it. We just weren't saying, okay, this day we're going to make the child, and she will be born this day.
Right. But
real. Oops.
Tasha, I hate to interrupt. We have to step out real quick, though. Can we get you a water or anything? Well, we're just going to slide over real quick and talk to Seth and just confirm some of the stuff.
I'm sure you guys.
He's sitting on ice right now, probably wondering what in the world's going on. So.
Do you need to use the restroom as well?
I suppose I should. It's been quite some time.
All right, just know we'll get you some water while you're using the bathroom. I'll walk you to the bathroom. I'll get you some water. Just know that we're going to be down. So as long as we've been in here with you, you're probably going to be sitting in here. We're going to be down there talking to him. So that way, at least you're not wondering what's going on. It's just we're talking to him, trying to get his side of this now. Okay?
Are we in trouble?
We don't know that. You guys are going home the same way you came. We told you that. You're not being arrested. All we're doing is we're just information gathering. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that, no, you're not in trouble, because I don't know that yet. This whole case has to still be reviewed. There's a whole process that has to go through. Hey, put her letter down real quick. We're going to get another detective in here to escort you down there real quick, okay? Just because it's a secured facility, Larry. All right.
That was Tatiana's side of the story. Now Seth.
Man, sorry about that. We're in there with Tatiana. I think we were going to get through it. So.
Let me give a cheer.
For the past hour, he had been just as composed, calm, controlled, sitting there like a man untouched by the weight of what had happened. His words were measured, his tone steady, carefully crafting a version of reality that kept him just out of reach. But just like Tatiana, that control didn't last. Because in that room, silence speaks louder than lies, and Seth was about to learn that the hard way.
Seth, I don't know if you remember my name or not. It's Jason. This is my sergeant. Same name, Jason. Different last name.
Seth, I want to talk. I wasn't in on when you guys are speaking. I'd like to get some background information just on your marriage, all that kind of stuff, if you're going to be doing that. I know earlier you talked to these guys in the car and they advised of your rights. Just due to the simple fact that we're sitting here in the sheriff's department interview room, those same rights still apply. Do you remember those rights? You want me to read them to you again? Was the card that they shown to you for the same card as this? I'll stick that in front of you just as a refresher so you have them if you need them. But I'm sorry you're going through this. I told you that earlier, but How long have you and, is it Tatiana, right? I keep it
Tatiana.
Tatiana. How long have you guys been married?
I don't know how long we've been married for, like 3 years. March 2015, I think.
Okay.
We've been together since September 2011.
Okay, and are all of your children your guys' children? Okay. Can you tell me about the birth?
I mean, like...
So just where was she born?
Why I'm very anti-medical industry is because of what happened with her birth. She coughed one time, so they said that they had to keep her under observation for 72 hours to make sure she didn't have a breathing problem. She didn't have a breathing problem. She coughed one time to clear some birth fluid out of her lungs.
Right.
And they kept us under observation for 72 hours.
Oh, wow, you're paying for it?
Of course, yeah, the bill was about $15,000. So, so that was kind of a kick in the rear. And then afterwards, we had some problems where I actually had a doctor make a fraudulent CPS claim, and I actually forged paperwork and stuff like that. And I tried to make a complaint about it, but nobody listens.
That was more of a get-rich scheme, wasn't it? Kind of like I'm gonna make some money off from a product that someone really doesn't need.
Yes.
And
he issued two separate forms of paperwork. One that had a bunch of notes on it saying all sorts of bad healthcare things we were doing wrong with CPS person, and the copy of the paperwork he gave to us that said she was fine. So that was about my last straw with it.
Was that to do with the helmet? And is that so it all started with, if I'm right, it all started with the helmet.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
well, it all started with the cough, but to the helmet. I'm
not a big fan of a lot of the immunization stuff, and so I kind of bulked against that, and they didn't like that either. They even got to the point where they, the first time we changed doctors, they called CPS on us just for changing doctors, because the doctor we were seeing was all the way in Byron Center from Cedar Springs. So they called CPS on us because we changed doctors and didn't give them enough notice.
Didn't give who enough notice?
So, I'm done with medical stuff. We're home birthing. It's
the way to go anyways, isn't it?
Yeah, we were...
That's what I heard. Hey, I'm coming whether you're ready or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, So there you go. That's about.
So, and that's kind of what Tatiana explained too, is that she was going to immunization. She was with, and everything was kind of okay, but there was, both of you had done some research and you weren't too keen on immunizations. And then come along the helmet. Mm-hmm. You guys wanted to get a second opinion on the helmet, so you don't need anything. And so you chose not to get a helmet, and then that's kind of when the CPS referral came along, the failure to thrive type referral, if that's, if this is sounding correct. And then you guys and do you remember she was born?
Yeah, she's, well, I guess I had it refreshed today. I guess from what Tatiana said, she's 14 ounces. So.
And then how much,
7'2".
and were they all about the same length-ish?
They're all the same size. I was born to 21 inches, like we're all the same.
Yeah. And then Like exactly the same?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what's the odds of that?
Yeah, and she was even earlier too. That's why I just didn't. It never, bothered me too much that she was skinny because she came out.
Yeah, yeah. So you, Annie, when did it like dawn on you that she's thin?
Oh, just when she came out. I mean,
She's been thin.
Yeah.
But now, Tatiana, was she going to labor?
Where she had just been up pacing around all night, and then baby started sliding out. And things are a lot easier when you do them at home, I'll tell you what.
Well, yeah, you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah. And the position they put you in the hospital is very, just bad medicine, just whatever.
What position are you in at home?
And you just stand up.
Do you really?
Yeah, and the gravity just shoots the baby right now. They don't have you up, facing upward, pushing against the gravity. Makes no sense.
No, it actually would make sense if you think about it.
Yeah.
Never seen it. So you have to just kind of be under there, like you're like the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And on that day?
Yeah, she got up there. She was late for the delivery. She checked over the baby, said she's healthy. And,
Is that what she does? A midwife, they kind of tie off their tubes or whatever it is they have to do? And
yes. They do the dirty work that anybody could do. It's just a lot of us aren't. A lot of us just aren't willing to do it. But yeah, really, what they mop up the blood and they go over your check sheet of check this to see if the baby's healthy.
Yeah.
So.
And then do they do all the recording of birth, or is that something you guys do, or?
I think ish.
Yeah, it seems like they would.
My wife kind of deals with more of the paperwork.
Yeah. So you said that. So you weren't concerned about her being skinny.
I get comments that she's bigger than some 6-year-old boys now.
Mm-hmm.
Same size, skinny, but it just took a while, and then after I think it was about 10 months to a year, she started really putting on weight, and now you saw her.
Yep. And she didn't need a helmet. Her head looks just fine.
Yeah.
So was Tatiana working?
No.
So Tatiana was home, and she did all the feedings, right from the source. If Tatiana went to Meyer,
yes,
and that was in case she needed to latch on, type thing.
Yeah.
So, because with the other two, Tatiana would leave a food source at home because she was working some.
When she would go to the farmer's market for farm produce business. But last year, we did that, she took both kids with her pretty much every time.
Okay.
Where I couldn't go to market anymore, so I stayed home.
Stay home, work on the farm?
Yep.
So feeding the children has never been a real part of your responsibility.
A little bit. I've been feeding her dinner. I feed her tons of solid food. I feed her 3 or 4 of those Gerber cups, and she just wolf them right down, no problem.
Were you guys buying solid food or making solid food?
Both.
Okay. What were you making?
If we made anything, it was just like sweet potatoes grinded up, and she made the baby.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So what she was saying is what she could recall is like some vegetables out of your garden.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe whatever it was you had growing at that time.
Yes.
And then she'd throw something, maybe breast milk, to make the vegetables more palatable. Whatever that word is.
Palatable.
Yeah. And then she would make like a little fruit smoothie, maybe some blueberries, some bananas, like that. And then she did say that potatoes and stuff like that. When did you guys start with her on solid foods?
been a couple months now. Since the beginning of summer.
Okay. Okay.
I would want to say maybe since April, because that's when Tatiana started working at her job. So basically, we were only going to let her was eating solid foods just fine.
Yep.
So I would say April.
Okay. And then that was supplementing nursing with solids. Has solids ever completely taken over? Was nursing still?
She still nurses, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what would you say was her primary, nursing or the solids? Or we can't say that?
I can't scientifically say. I'd say probably at this point we were really working on trying to make it more solid food only, especially because my wife's pregnant again, so you know how that all works.
I do know how that works.
Right. So you know, you're trying to get her over to just be on solid.
Yeah. So you're more familiar with this than me, with having younger kids. Typically, at what age is it that they switch over to solids? Do you remember?
Nope.
Nope, me neither. Do you remember?
We don't.
Yeah.
I thought it was when they started teething, but
I bet you all of our wives know.
Right. Right. Yeah, you're supposed. I think you're supposed to transition it in starting at starting at 6 months. You're supposed to transition it in, and then by 2 years old, the kids are supposed to be.
Okay. All right.
Off the teat.
Off the teat. So, I'm sorry.
Tatiana.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
That's my mistake. Tatiana would work, and when she started working, she started with fewer hours. She started working 4-hour shifts, I think it was.
Yeah, like 3-4 days a week. Yeah.
And then she moved up to now she's working
basically full time.
Was it like 3 to 11?
3 to 11. Yeah.
Okay. When did that begin? Remember about when-ish?
July 4th.
Okay. So starting July 4th, did more of the responsibilities of...
Yeah, I guess so.
So from 3 p.m., because I know obviously when Tatiana was there and she would nurse her, did she leave you bottles of breast milk to nurse her, or did you not nurse?
No, we just had, that's when I would give her solid food.
Okay. So she would leave work 2:30 ish, I'm assuming, and how many times?
But what the normal schedule is Tatiana puts baby down at 2:30. I've got some time to kind of let my brain simmer down because get up and work in the morning.
Yeah.
So let my brain have some time to simmer down. Kids have quiet time, and then they're up again by 4:35, and then I'm up with. Or I might feed her 2 of the cups, pick her up for a half hour, walk around so the food settles, and then come back and feed her the rest, and then take her outside for an hour, hour and a half. Then bring her back and put her back down.
So dinner time, that's fine.
Yeah, it was nothing too, we're not too, regulated. We're not too uptight, but, yeah, generally, she'd get up, let's just say general timing, it'd be up again, 4:30 to 5. She'd eat 5:30, be back in bed by 6:30.
Okay. And then she'd be back in bed at 6:30. Then when was the next feeding?
A lot of times I think that's probably my wife breastfeeds her at night.
Oh, when she get home from work.
Yeah. Okay. So I wouldn't really know about that.
Because you'd usually be in bed by then.
So
early mornings on the farm.
Yeah. So so my wife might breastfeed her in the middle of the night, or breakfast time when she gets up again.
So typically speaking, that dinner meal would be because then she would sleep till your wife got home, and so that would be the last. So you have to just feed her really once. Yeah. Or if she wanted to goof off a little bit before feedings, you might split that once up into twice. So at what point did you guys become concerned about her weight?
Okay, so it's always kind of been there. It's always been something that we've watched. However, it never seemed to cause, because it never did. But I just know you guys are watching my words, so it never caused her. Let's put it this way: she never was sickly in any way, slow, lethargic. No health indicators that said anything was wrong, other than that she was skinny, which I just didn't let it get to me, because, like I said, very skinny. She started putting on weight recently. We really started pounding the solid food down in the last month or so. Really making sure she gets some chicken, potatoes, cheese, stuff.
So when you started putting the high proteins, how recently was that?
Month or two.
Okay.
And
because that's what Tatiana said, is that probably the last month or two is when you guys actually became a little concerned about the weight.
Yeah, but I kind of was like, because my mom's always been honest about it. Always.
She's always on you. Get some food in this kid.
Yeah, she always like, yeah, wait, you guys feed now. Mom, go look at the garbage. I mean, it's I can't feed the kid enough.
Right.
She just.
When was the last time your mom was on you about it? But
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The last time my mom said something about it, she said that she. Wait.
Oh, okay.
So that's why.
So you thought you were in the right direction. When was that?
Last week, Sunday.
Not this last Sunday, the one before that?
Yes.
Okay. And you were at your mom's, or she was at your place?
She was at our house.
And she thought that she was gaining weight?
She remarked that her cheeks seemed a lot fuller.
Okay.
I don't remember that specifically.
So a month or two ago, you two became concerned and started putting some proteins to her, some chickens and cheeses and whatever, just trying to bulk her up a little bit. And did you believe it was starting to work?
I seemed to definitely notice that she was getting heavier. Tatiana mentioned it to me. My mom mentioned it to me, so I would say yes.
So Tatiana thought she was getting healthier too, and that she was getting bigger? Okay.
Because she's always been growing long, she's just never put the meat, never put the meat on.
Right, yeah. So Tatiana, correct me if this is wrong, Tatiana said that, and kind of you said, especially about the last month, you guys became concerned that you started very consistently and regularly, heartily praying over, Lord, help her gain weight. Does that sound right?
I don't. She may have. I haven't really been so much.
Okay.
But I'm glad to hear she was.
Yeah. So you guys, you when she started losing her weight, you thought maybe it was just a growing spurt, and she had lost weight, and so she was getting. And is that what you attributed her? I'm sorry, not the weight loss, the sleeping, to a growth spurt. Is that what you attributed it to?
Yeah. Honest, I think maybe 3 times in the last week where she slept so long I had to nudge Tatiana and make some jokes now that I would.
Yeah, I know.
But you don't really think too much of it at the time. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
So yeah, there's been a couple mornings where she had been sleeping for 15, 16 hours straight, and Tati just went and woke her up. She woke right up. Oh, look who's a hungry baby, kind of thing. So today when it happened, I didn't really think anything of it differently. I just thought it was another sleepy baby. She was, especially my wife keeps her up all morning, so she's just exhausted sometimes by the time she goes to bed. And if she doesn't make a peep, if she doesn't make a sound, or if she's in there and everything as far as I know, everything is fine when she's put down. I mean, I'm not inclined to wake the kid up.
Right, sure. But, so, do you bathe, did you ever bathe her?
I didn't know.
Do you ever change a diaper?
Oh, yeah.
When was the last time you figured you changed?
It might have been yesterday morning.
Because I'm trying to imagine when Tatiana goes to work leaves at 2:30.
Oh, usually when she gets up to eat, I would change her diaper.
Then you got daddy duty, you need to change the diapers and stuff.
Yeah.
But Seth, here's the thing, is that she's so tiny. Was there never a time that you just like, well, there's something really wrong?
There was never a time where I thought there was something really wrong. I did say to Tatiana, hey, with her being the age she is, let's really try to see if, like, the protein, the fat and the protein, as her digestive system is developed, let's see if that kicks things into gear, and if not, let's go see a doctor. Because, she's a skinny little girl.
When did you have that conversation?
I might have been 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because even at that point, I was just a little, how's it gonna hurt?
So 2 weeks ago, how much did you figure that she weighed?
I don't know.
Well, was she the same size now, smaller, bigger?
I don't know.
Okay. So today, tell me about today. I know it's tough.
Yeah, I just kind of like woke up like a regular day. I wasn't feeling very well last night. So I slept in because I didn't sleep very well. I think I rolled out of bed like 8 to 8:30 to care some chores, and then I lay back down, and then my wife told me she was gonna go right up the street to the neighbor's house to go get some kids. And when she came back, I woke up, and then I guess she decided, tell me Mary Welch, and that's that.
So what did you do when she told you that?
I split out of bed and raced to the room, and
So you're helpless, right? Like, what you didn't know what to do?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I could tell she was dead from looking at her.
But Tatiana couldn't.
She's a mom.
Right.
So.
Yep.
I'm used to dealing with a lot of dead bodies with the farm.
Yeah.
So I know what they look like. That was that.
He just ended talking about how he found his daughter dead by saying, so, that was that. He absolutely does not care about his children. He does not care that his daughter has died. And he thinks that having to talk about it is a waste of time and that the police are just fucking with him.
So what did Tatiana do?
She tried to do CPR.
So, were you in there when she was doing, were you in the same room with her when she was trying CPR?
Yeah, yeah.
And then what were you doing?
She's the one who knows how to do all that kind of stuff. Right. So I was looking and watching and thinking about what to do, thinking about, just trying to think about what to do next.
So what did you do next?
Call my dad.
Okay, and then what did you tell your dad?
I don't know what to do.
What did he say?
Well, I kind of figured I was supposed to call the police. I don't know. I don't have any experience with it now.
Sure.
Well, I did then. I do now. So I just called him and said, hey, should I call the police or what? I don't know how this works. And he said, yeah, we'll be on the way. Call them when we get there, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
it had been about an hour and some change, and I was starting to get impatient because I did not want to. I know how it looks when people wait to make a police call, so I just.
Mm-hmm. So you called prior to your.
So I got impatient. I called my wife. Are you guys here yet? Because it's like 11:05 now. I knew there was going to be a process too, so I wanted to get things going.
Yeah.
And they were in Cedar at the gas station, and they're like, yeah, we'll be there. And so then I called you guys.
So, because obviously you're an intelligent man, so obviously for us, and you just said yourself, it looks weird, right? But I'm saying you didn't know what you're doing, but in our world, we deal with this a lot, because we don't know every single person in the county and everyone's personalities.
Sure. And I wanted to just call you guys first, but I was following my legal advice. So I'm sorry if there's a problem at all. I just do what the lawyer told me to do.
No, and here's the thing. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you. I'm just confirming what you said. It looks weird. That's all. We're not saying that you did something horrible in those 2 hours. We're just saying that it's not the norm. So.
Sure.
So what did you guys do during the 2 hours?
We sat there and cried.
Yeah.
Tatiana called it her job.
Yeah.
We knew guests were coming.
Did you clean anything up?
Yeah, we cleaned up the house a little bit.
Why was that?
It was a mess. I knew we were going to have my parents over.
Mom getting after you about
we
So what all the house cleaning entail?
Wiping up the counter and sweeping the floor.
Okay. How'd the kids handle it?
They don't really get it. They don't really get it.
Mm-hmm. So. But Seth, here's the thing. Looking back, you can't even weigh 8 pounds right now. She only 8 pounds.
Okay.
I don't know, she weighs 6 pounds. She's tiny. Was that never an alarm for you? Was there never an alarm man, she's not where she needs to be. I can see all of her bones.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I just told you in regards to that matter. So yes, there was, which is what I told you. I also generally, I don't trust the medical system so much as other people. So when it says, it needs to be this, the other, like I said, I had a doctor was mutant and needed a head-shaping helmet. I was told that she was underweight, fraudulently. I know how they work, and I know they're in business, and that healthy people don't make them any money.
So that kind of skewed your...
Yeah, it skewed the way, it changes the way that we do things a lot differently than most other people.
But looking at your daughter, looking back, you as a parent, as a father, didn't you have any concern for her, looking at her?
Yes, I did.
But you just didn't think it was concern that the medical field could fix?
One, I would say somewhat. Two, I was kind of more in that I have never encountered a health problem where basically if you don't do the right things and be patient, that it works itself out, especially with the kids. I get as we get older, there's other things. I was not happy about how thin she was, but I also have the belief that God didn't make us all
the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of chalked it up to that. I was not happy about how skinny she was. That's why if you look in the house, you can see all the baby food. That's potatoes with chicken and cheese, and everything matches up with what I'm saying. I guess she was always very healthy. She was never sick. Yeah, so it never, if she had been sickly in any way, it would have been, okay, that's it. She's sickly and skinny. But she was always just skinny.
But Seth, that's where I'm going to disagree with you. Okay? I'm a parent. I'm a father. I have 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
He's a father. You're a father.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I'm just being honest with you. Okay? Because I don't know how to be anything other than. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this job for a long time. Okay? And he'll tell you when I walked in that bedroom today. All right? I started crying. Okay? I looked at that little baby. And I looked at her for a millisecond.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that she wasn't right. And I knew that she wasn't right for some time. Okay? And you're her father.
Yes. And I'll tell you, I saw her when she was dead too. She was much more gaunt when she was dead than she ever was when she was alive. I mean, I got pictures on my phone. I'm.
Yeah. Right, but let me ask you this: when's the last time you saw that baby without any clothes on in a bath?
Me, I've never given her a bath.
Okay, but you changed her diaper maybe a day and a half ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not putting words in your mouth. You said that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How did you not, when you looked at her a day and a half ago changing her diaper, and realize that my daughter is skin and bone? When I looked at her belly in the house, okay, and I'm not exaggerating this.
I know.
I could see the outline of her intestines through her stomach. I could see her spine completely through her back. I could see every one of her ribs through her chest.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like I said, I'm not happy about it either. You're welcome to go through my garbage and look at the baby food containers. Yeah. And
Seth, here's the thing. I'm certainly not knocking his faith. I have the same faith in the same creator that you have. Does your faith prevent you from allowing you to use medical services? So you would use medical services, or even not? So it's just your experience that prevents you, not your faith.
No, in some ways, like for example, on the immunization, it started out with a rational concern. But yeah, faith-based, you'd have to strap us down to a table and put it in there.
Okay. Does that apply to your children too?
Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't do...
Would I do anything different? Oh yeah, I totally would. I would have listened to my elders. I would have taken her to go see a doctor.
Because that's what your parents were telling you.
You said your elders?
Yeah, older people who would say, she's, like what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
So,
how far back would you go when you would do something different?
How far back would I go that I would do something different?
When would you taken her?
When would I have taken her?
Knowing what you know today.
Knowing what I know today, I would probably take all the kids to the doctor, at least for preliminary stuff.
No, I'm talking about looking back. Was it a week ago? Was it 2 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago? Was it a month ago? When would you have done something different? When you know, this didn't happen overnight. She didn't get this malnourished and skinny overnight. Okay? This is a lengthy process. Mm-hmm. Okay? And this has been going on for some time. That's what I'm asking. At what point, you knowing what you know today, if you could go back and reset the clock to try to prevent today, how far back do you think you would go?
I don't know, because I can't tell you. Maybe the first mention somebody had that I respected, that she was too skinny. That she was too
How long ago was that?
I don't know. Like I said, she's been skinny since she was born.
So how many people that you respected have told you that?
My mom and
you probably figured Dad's just back in Mom's play?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, today, at what point today did you and or Tatiana think, this doesn't look good? The size of her, all of this doesn't look good.
Today?
Yeah.
Well, we didn't, we kind of like woke up and she was dead, so.
No, but I mean after that, when you were thinking that this is like, as far as it doesn't look good that we didn't get her the medical treatment or whatever. At what point today did you think that?
I don't know. I guess I haven't really worried about it too much.
Okay. Did Mom feel concerned because of she knew the weight was so low, or what was your discussion like with her about that?
Yeah, she just mentioned that she's skinny. Okay. But you know, the thing is that it's like, yeah, she was skinny, but that would be like the only thing. It's like, okay, she's not skinny, and then she'd be fat. And it's just like, you know, everybody's always got something to nitpick about a baby kind of thing.
No, you're right about that. But Seth, there is a difference, and I have pictures. There's a difference between and Mary.
No, I know she was thin.
No, wasn't thin.
Yes, I know. I picked her up. I know how skinny she was. It used to hurt. What am I going to do? Like inject her with liposuction? And what are the doctors going to do?
But. Because here's the thing.
There's more, you know what the leading cause of death in this country is, don't you? Well, yeah, it's medical malpractice.
It is. I'll give you that.
It's more dangerous. It's more dangerous to take your kid to the doctor than
That's not what most people think. Most people think it's cops, but
I get what you're saying.
So there you go.
I get what you're saying, because there's some stats that go along with some of this. But here's what I'm saying though: is on this case, when we know, because I know you guys are doing what you're saying you're doing. I know you're feeding them protein. We can see it. We're not dumb either. We can look around the house like these guys are piling food in this girl. So when that's not working, then we know there's something. There's Crohn's disease, there's diabetes. There is a disease that has to be that's not allowing this girl to absorb the nutrients for these foods. And you know that.
Yeah, you're correct. I do know that. I guess I never thought of it. Where there's no family history. Like I said, recently, regardless of what the pictures show, you know, people who've been around her for 10 months, you know, commented, we all noticed that she was getting bigger, so I was just like, oh, finally, okay, we're through that stage. I was worried for a little bit there, but she's putting on the weight now. You know, she's clearly getting heavier. So I kind of thought we were through it.
Let me ask you an honest answer. Do you feel responsible in any way for what happened today?
I feel like that's a bit of a trap question, but
no. Or do you just
stay honest?
Or do you think it's just God's will?
Well, just because it might be God's will doesn't mean that there's not that it's not His will according to our actions, or it doesn't mean that we're not responsible in some way for what has come about. And so, I take responsibility on myself for anything that goes wrong in my life at all, even if it's totally not my fault. What could I have done?
While Tatiana used laughter as her shield, Seth Welch chose something far more chilling: indifference. For the past hour, he didn't plead. He lectured. Calmly, arrogantly, hiding behind twisted scriptures to justify why his daughter was left to waste away. And then you look at him. No tears. No trembling hands. No desperation for the child he would never see again. Just a man, sitting there still, unbothered, like he was waiting for a bus. In June of 2020, it was over. Seth Welch was convicted of first-degree murder, sentenced to life in prison, no chance of parole. And not long after Tatiana turned on him, she claimed she was a victim too, that Seth was abusive, that he stopped her from caring for the children. But the court didn't buy it. She was sentenced to life without parole, plus an additional 15 to 30 years for child abuse. And at the center of it all was Mary, a life that should have continued full of chances, of moments, of a future. Now, all that remains is the hope that her siblings are somewhere safe, somewhere they can finally heal from what was done to them. This case, it's heavy, so if you made it this far, take a moment, breathe. And if you want more stories like this, you know what to do. Until next time, stay aware and stay safe.